Hello friends, today I am discussing about characteristics of commerce. See, we have already understood about the meaning of trade, commerce, but here we are understanding detail about characteristics of commerce. So, commerce means the financial activity which is considered to be auxiliary services connected with the trade. Such kind of services are considered as commerce. So it means it is a part of economic activities. All economic activities, including trade and others, are part of commerce. So the first point is part. Title is part. So commerce is a larger concept, and in concept of the commerce, trade is also included. So you understand one thing, that commerce means financial activity. Commerce means the activity which is connected with the money. So in that way, trade is also part of it, right? Second, economic activity. As we all know this, every money related activity is considered to be economic activity. So trade, commerce or any other money related activity is considered to be financial activity. So remember, commerce is an economic activity. Third point, helpful for all other finance based activities. Helpful for all other finance based activities. Remember, auxiliary services, we have used the word. Auxiliary means related services with the money based activity. If we consider as banking, transportation, insurance, every activity is connected with the trade, every activity is connected with the money. So it is considered to be part of commerce activities, all included, trade, all activities included. Every financial activity is considered to be here as a auxiliary services. Fourth point, increasing time and place utility. Time utility and place utility. See, utility means usefulness. Time utility means at the time when we need to use the product, if the product may available with us, it is called time utility. Same way, place utility means at that place where we want to use the product, if the product is available easily at that place, it is called place availability. So in that way you understand, time and place utility makes the usefulness of the product more easy. So it is called usefulness. It was making it product more easy to usefulness, so it is called usefulness. When it is based on the time and based on the place, then it is called time utility and place utility. Okay, now the next point is continuous process. See, as like other activities, it is also continuous process. Why can we say it is continuous process? See, demand cannot wait. Can any demand wait for anyone? No. Can any purchase wait for anyone? No. Can any requirement wait for anyone? No. So the demand cannot wait for anyone. So it is called continuous process. Every auxiliary activity is a continuous process. Production, trade, commerce and other activity is considered to be continuous process, because as the demand arises, the production is also required to fulfill the demand. So it is continuous process. It cannot be stopped, right? Let's continue the sixth point, that available at reasonable price. See, some activities price cannot be decided by its production cost, but some activities price is decided by its usefulness. As like any goods may supply to the customer in a time, then its usefulness will increase. So it is creating more demand. So in that way you can understand that when the product is availability, when the product's availability is there, then its usefulness may also arise. So remember, it should available in time, it should available at as much as low price. All these things makes the usefulness of the product with people, right? So the 6 points I discussed. First I repeat the short. First point, part. Second point, economic activity. Third, auxiliary services. Fourth, time utility and place utility. Fifth, continuous process. And sixth, availability to the people, right? So here I discussed about characteristics of commerce, right my friends? So we have understood today here about discussion of different activity related with trade, commerce, and now we are discussing for industries. So remember, be careful about it, that what is called, what is importance, what is called to it, what is importance of it. Everything makes usefulness of any activity. So remember, industry is also considered to be useful activity for any person for providing product to fulfill needs of the person, so it is called important activity, right? Because it is changing the shape or the form, then make it useful as the demand. So it is considered to be useful as per the demand, the shape is being changed. Okay, now you remember one thing, any production is called economic activity because changing the shape, providing the product, get money, these are make these are making the product as making the work as economic activity. So remember one thing, any economic activity, as like earlier, industry is also for satisfying the need of the person by providing good as they need. So here, not any place utility, not any time utility, but here the demand is creating by changing the shape, look or design or the form. So in that way, the change in the look, shape or form makes its usefulness more important, right? So now I am discussing the classification of industries. So remember one thing, any activity relate with the classification makes its identity very clear. On the base of classification, its levels are decided, and on that level, its identity come in front of people. Generally, if we want to discuss about characteristics of the industry, then its characteristics are relate with human labor uses, because in industry only the activity is where the human labor is given importance. If it is based on the machinery, then the human labor will not given importance. Means human labor will given more importance or less importance based on type of industry, right? Second is based on natural resources. So remember one thing, if the industry is based on the primary raw materials, so it is called, it is based on natural resources. But if it is not based on primary raw materials, it is considered to be based on pre-shaped, pre-changed, half-developed raw materials. So in that way, the complete natural resources are not in use of industry. The third is machines. Sometimes the resources are being processed and the shape comes out. Here the use of machine is more important. So use of machine all time is not equally importance like laborers, but sometime it become more important. Is that clear? So understand, in short, I explain the characteristics. First, first characteristic, production. Second characteristic, economic activity. Third characteristic, change in the form. Fourth characteristic, production creates the utility. Fifth characteristic, human labor. Sixth characteristic, natural resources. Seventh characteristics, machineries. So in that way, we could say there are different type of characteristics included in industries, right? Now I'm explaining the classification in detail. Okay, see, first classification is primary industries. Now you understand the primary industry means the industry in which fundamental industries are included. Fundamental means basic productions are done as like air, water and land. So such kind of the basic elements which industry is dependent is called primary industry. So actually we could say the industry which is relied on the natural elements is called primary industry. Agriculture is also like that. Animal husbandry is also like that. And poultry farming is also like that. So remember one thing. When your activity is completely based on air, water and land, then it is considered to be primary activity or the primary industries. Here I can include the example of fisheries too, right? So here I explain the detail of different activities like primary activities first. Now I am discussing about the secondary activity. The secondary activity means the activity which is based on use of machines and technology. The activity which is based on use of machines and technology is called secondary activity. Now you understand one thing. Every natural elements or resources will be used to convert it as per the needed shape or the form. So in that way we could say the use of machinery make the natural resources consumable, useful and creates it uses more. As like the wheat directly cannot be used, but when we are making it flour, it is done by the flour mill. So here the use of machine is there, then its use arise, otherwise not. So in that way, when the machinery come in use, as like the fertilizer industry, as like the any production based industry, as like the color and chemical industry, you can say all industries where the machineries are in use is called secondary activity, right my friends? Now I am going to discuss about third type of the industry. It is called tertiary industry. Tertiary industry means third kind of industry. Actually, tertiary industry is considered to be services. Sometimes it is associated with the services. It provides help and services to the primary and secondary activities. As we know, the collection of the milk is the primary activity. After collected milk, make it pack in the pouch. It is secondary activity. Thereafter, convert that milk by the different way into the sweet. So making the sweet is a tertiary activity. Okay, now we can divide so many activities in tertiary activity. We can include so many activities. Slip of tongue I did. So many activities are included in tertiary activity, as like the dairy industry, as like the cold drink industry, as like the bakery industry. You can include so many industries which make it useful. So the another point make it useful is the product obtained from primary industry and secondary industry made it consumable for customer with a process. So the process based activity is considered in tertiary activity. Remember, I repeat, the product based on the process industries. I said collection of the milk is the primary activity. Then convert it in a pouch is the secondary activity. Then by the process convert its forms, makes its useful easiness very easily. So it is called third activity, tertiary activity. Is that clear? So understand one thing. Every tertiary activity is completely connected with the use of our every raw materials, and here the machineries are coming in the use also. So sometimes it happens that usefulness may arise more after the tertiary activity, not before that. Because see, if we talk about agriculture activity, we collect the food crops, then make it flour. Or if we collect the vegetables, then make it divided in pieces. But when the process is done, then make the use of that vegetable or that food crop will convert its uses in more proportion. So the tertiary activity is more useful. So here one line is included. Tertiary industries have a wider scope than other scopes. Why it is said? See, I have said earlier, the production of the wheat is the basic industry. Then the convert the flour is the secondary industry. Then convert it in the bread and other food product. Here the increase in the demand after convert into the food product instead of the flour or the direct wheat. So it means the use will arise as by increase of changing the forms. So it is considered to be more wider scope having industries too. Right, my friends? So here I discussed with you about tertiary activity. Earlier I discussed about secondary activity. Then before that I discussed about primary industries. So it means you understand one thing, that when we are discussing about any classification, you can see how much elaborated I explain it. It means its importance will come in front of you in form of classification. Is that clear? So the classification is more important to understand, to explain. Is that clear? Okay, my friends.